In this video, we're going to look at creating an intervention plan for a student at EdInsight. The first thing we'll need to do is to choose a student. If you do not see the student displayed on your dashboard, you can search for the student at the top. Once you find the student, go ahead and click on their name, and you'll be taken to their homepage. Once at the student's homepage, you can scroll down on the left-hand side and choose MTSS. From here, we have a couple options. If we are having a meeting to start the process, we would choose Meeting Notes. By choosing Meeting Notes, it's going to ask us if we want to hold a meeting. We will click Hold a Meeting, and we'll be prompted to choose the meeting type. So here, I'm choosing Initial Meeting. At that point, then I will generate the form. In this form, it'll show me all the options that I need. I will include the date, the time, all of the attendees, and then I'll also need to check parent or guardian attendance, whether they are in attendance, participating by phone, or unable to attend. Same thing with students. They're in attendance, not in attendance, or it's not grade appropriate. For here, as an 11th grader, the student should be in attendance for the meeting. Creating a student report would be the next step. You can choose how many years to go back. If you're interested in just the past couple in high school, here you would just choose 3. If you want to get an overall view of everything the student brings to the table academically, you could choose all. There are numerous options that you can choose, everything from attendance, their misconduct, their previous grades, their mastery report if you're going back into elementary school, assessments, the student depot, you will get your SOL and end of course scores. And then at the bottom, is where you will have your meeting notes. If you have a template loaded, you can choose templates and it'll automatically load a template for you. If you do not, this is where you would start writing. A good idea would talk about the previous interventions that have been put in place in the classroom. Maybe you're looking at Tier 1 instruction, things that have worked or haven't worked for the student, and then moving on from there. If at this point you decide to tier the student, you're going to choose Save and Submit. By choosing Save and Continue, it will save the meeting as a draft and not submit it. You will not be able to move to the next step of tiering and creating an intervention plan. Once I've chosen what I'd like to see in my report, I'll go to the top, make sure I have all of the attendees listed, making sure I'm choosing whether the parent or guardian is there and the student. And I have my notes taken here. I would choose Save and Submit. After I save and submit, they'll ask if I want to tier the student. If we're moving to Tier 2, I'll hit Edit Tier. I'll choose the appropriate tier, the building, the facilitator. This would typically be the person running the meeting. And then the effective date. When does the tier start? Once I'm done, I'll hit Save and Close. Here, it's going to prompt me that says, I've made changes. The person is moving to Tier 2, the date, and who did it. I'll choose OK. At this point, we're going to need to create an intervention plan. To create an intervention plan, you're going to choose Interventions. Here, we're going to create a Tier 2 intervention. To do that, we're going to click Add Intervention. As we come down, we know it's Reading or English Language Arts. We'll choose the skill at which they're working on. We'll choose the program, typically Tier 2, it would probably be small group. We'll choose the appropriate curriculum. Again, if you do not see the appropriate curriculum, feel free to email mtsssupport@k12albemarle.org to get it set up for you. Lastly, we'll choose a measurement or assessment. And then the person responsible will be the person that's providing the intervention. Here, we're going to keep it at Ms. Akers-Peck. If there's a second person that's providing the intervention, you can add another person here. Below, we'll look at the duration and frequency. Typically, we'll look for 8 or 9 weeks. How many times a week is based upon the situation. And then minutes per session is based upon the situation as well. By doing this for 9 weeks, you'll see my anticipated review date was automatically set for April 17th. Here, parent notification. It is state law that parents have to be notified if their student is receiving intervention services in the school. You need to select how the parent was notified of the intervention plan. Any additional notes in the plan would go in this section right here. Again, if you have a template that you've developed, you could hit the drop down and add the template here. Once I'm done, again, I'll hit save and submit. As I said before, if you choose save and continue, it'll save as a draft plan, not a submitted plan. At this point, you see the student currently has an intervention plan here in EdInsight. Later, we'll talk about how to potentially edit the plan or to insert tracking data or to insert progress monitoring data.